Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our first map in the BO3 between Tempo Storm and Selfless. It's going to be on Cash, followed by Cobblestone, and if we need it, Dust 2. But of course, the analyst desk doesn't necessarily think we're going to even need Dust 2 in this one, given the recent performance by Selfless against Went Out last night on this very same map. Mega Man and Sprawl bringing you guys the action. We're going to be getting into the pistol round right here. What do you think, Sprawl?
I gotta think Tempo's gonna come out on top. It's hard to disagree with what they were saying on the desk. They obviously have had excellent performances on the international level, and Selfless, I just don't know if they have the tools to be able to deal with the Tempo Storm side. So here we go into the pistol round. We've got Nifty already making contact here with an aggressive push up into B main from Tempo.
Yeah, I really like this style already. This is actually something Selfless likes to do in their pistol rounds on CT side of Cash. Get aggressive up through mid or through B. But now look at this. They're actually going to take the fight back around through checkers. Mitch is going to catch out Showtime. Lucas there for the trade. Lucas finds a second. Henny's on the action as well, and it's just a decimation at the B bomb site. Relics left all by his onesies over here to try to battle back on 4. Now we saw what he did on the CT side pistol round against Went Out, almost clutching out a 1v3 to get an ace with some sick shots. We'll see if he can do it here on the terrorist side.
We'll see what he can get done. He does have a minute to play with. The bomb not in his hand, so obviously an issue. And we'll see what kind of 1v1s he can find. Lucas coming up inside of the vents. He is very, very low, and he is spotted out. First frag going the way of Relics, and maybe a little bit of over-aggression there from Lucas as there's no one able to trade. But they do get that intel on where Relics is at, and he doesn't really have many options on how to get this bomb. And he has no real intel other than, well, Henny, he was in heaven at some point when he got those frags, but he could be anywhere at this point. So 30 seconds remain. Relics is running out of time.
And they're playing this so well right now in this 2v1 from the CT side. Henny's still up in heaven. Bolt's going to peek out and pull a little bit of intel. Knows where he was. He actually gets into CT spawn, so if he can flank Henny up there in heaven or at least get a nice shot off onto him, he's going to make his way all the way over towards the A bomb site. Henny might be able to push down the ramp and find him, but this is actually the site where Relics did so well. And pardon me, it was actually the terrorist side pistol where he got 4 kills. But they're going to come right around the corner. They're going to deny the plant, too.
Wow.
That's even more important as well. So no extra money, no joy, and 3 kills on the round for Henny. So if he starts off that strong in the pistol round and carries it over into that first rifle round with the AWP, that's going to be absolutely massive. And here comes the SMG buy round for the next one. But look at these shots. Lucas, this is just sick stuff from Lucas.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Henny again. Lucas and Henny, the duo, are able to find 2 and, again, created that.
They knew Lucas was there, too.
Yeah, I assumed, well, at least after the first frag, most definitely. But and that pushed-up play worked out well. Selfless now on the buy. Again, that bomb plant. You can't really blame Relics for going for that kind of plant. He assumed he had just enough time to really get it down, but unfortunately not the case, and they will suffer the consequences. Nifty will be on a full save, so I like the discipline. Let's get that up. And, well, I don't know what the game plan is just yet. Very spread out approach for a round like this for the Selfless side.
Yeah, and again, just going to see how the pressure comes out here from the terrorist side is Selfless. They're playing this one really slow, looking to get a little bit of early intel here with a little bit of probing towards mid on main line. But he's going to be facing off a ranged game with a Tech 9 versus an M4, so that's not usually a battle that he's probably going to win from that kind of distance. Nice nade to follow up with a little bit of spam onto Mitch, down to 53. So early aggression coming out on both sides here. As you can see, Tempo Storm, they're actually getting in their face. They're going to take this UMP, go for the money farm, and see what they can find. I mean, this is kind of what we talked about with the SMG buys. And can't get the recoil under control on Phelps, but it's okay. He knocks him down very, very low. Still looking for some kills here in mid is Mitch. That Desert Eagle has been so strong from him throughout this tournament, but we'll see if he can do anything now.
Nothing looking like it's going to work out for the Selfless side. Mainline and Relics, last one's up. And they will not receive a single frag. So Tempo, the fact that, for one, they go with 1 M4, very confident play. They would know, generally speaking, you're going to assume if they didn't get a bomb plant, they would have that buy coming into the second. So to go all SMGs like that and to come out with 5 players alive, just as good as it gets, so to speak, for the Tempo Storm side. And moving into the next one, it will be an actual save. Selfless. Again, you can see Nifty is working his way up for that AWP, but otherwise just a couple P250s here.
And here's where that money farm comes in really strong for the Tempo Storm side. You know, we were talking about this in the green room earlier on about the influence of buying a P90 versus a UMP and being able to carry that UMP into the first gun round based off of the armor penetration, the fact that it is actually a very solid gun against the full buy, and you can see actually just pushing up, no regard. Phelps, he's going to say, you know, I'm going to take the fight to you, beat me.
Yep. And that's the kind of play that Selfless, they need to create the kind of, they need to have the performance where Tempo's all of a sudden they need to play a little bit more respectful, if you will, because the kind of aggression that we are seeing, like you had stated, the term usually used for it is disrespectful play. I'm not a big fan of the way that that spins off. It sounds like you're being it's bad manners. And well, it's not, exactly. Though. It's more just getting in their face and making certain, like you said, it's testing them. And if they can't, they don't pass the test, well, you don't get the privilege of playing a regular kind of match. You're going to have to deal with this crazy aggression over and over.
And that's the thing, too. And look at this, actually, right into the double-up setup. The MP7 gets dropped from Showtime. Henny, who had the M4, throws it over to Bolts, so no wasted economy into this round. You can see the investment, actually. Bolts was the one that dropped the op over to Henny. He throws the M4 over to Bolts. 2 UMPs carry over into this round, and this is what we were talking about before and yesterday, where the UMP is more viable than a P90 going into a gun round. Can be situational, but the money that you can make off of having that SMG is just so strong that it's not worth dropping going into a first gun round. So this is the Sadakis Jaden round, or whatever you want to call it, where they keep these SMGs, and they can be very successful. And if they are successful, that's going to bolster their economy even more. They're going to have so much money moving forward if they do drop a round in this first half. And, I mean, just all across the board, this looks very good for Tempo Storm to start things out, because look at that utility that's on the Selfless side. If they try to execute, they do have 5 smokes or 4 smokes now, but they've only got 3 flashes. And adversely on the other side, you've still got Showtime, who hasn't thrown anything yet.
Selfless. They've got Nifty with that op towards B main. I don't know if he'll come in contact with Showtime at all, who is posted towards B main. So it really depends on whether or not they want Nifty to go for some sort of aggressive pick, but with the way this is panning out, I believe they're working a boost up and over. And I'm curious if this is going to be, it's going to be an ace split. Eventually Nifty will kind of join via maybe middle, but they have an aggressive player to deal with. Phelps yet again with that UMP. Mainline taking quite a bit of damage. Actually, a team flash comes in. Mainline, they've got 30 seconds here to make something work, and, well, Nifty finds an oper, so 5 on 4.
Yeah, and Henny's actually stuck here behind Quad. He's not going to be able to get out in time. He goes down to the hands of Relics, but it's a 2-for-2 trade as the CT is still battling back into this one. The smokes do come out. They're starting to fade now over here by CT. And Relics actually kind of caught out in the open over here by the quad boxes. He's got to be very careful in this area. He's picked up an AWP to work with as well, but he's also very, very low. One stray bullet is going to be able to take him out. Mainline's going to get caught. Relics goes down. It's all on Nifty here. 1v3. Not going to be able to make it happen, and another round on the board for Tempo Storm. The plant helps for Selfless, but it's not going to be enough. It should be, I would assume, another save round, just looking at the money here, because they bought down very low. They might force into this, as they've got 3,700 on Uber and 3,750 on Mitch. The rest of them around 4,000. So, yeah, actually, they are going to force into this. So it's going to be a limited utility round here for this terrorist side of Selfless. And honestly, I expect to see a faster strategy, because they knew that the Tempo Storm side had a double op setup as well.
Yeah, and then they're able to keep that double op setup. The
Bolts
UMPs
is
are gone,
7-0
but,
right now, too.
Yeah, Bolt's doing big things. Tempo in general, just again, the UMPs being brought into that last round. Of course, the double op is a little expensive, but they carry that through. That's the important part. And now they're up 4-0 with quite the economy behind them. So, Selfless. I'm curious what they're going to go for with less than optimal equipment. You got 2 Galos on the field. Nifty had that op in the last round. He did find an opener into a main. Granted, it was with 30 seconds remaining. Mm-hmm. But I feel like save one more and try that again rather than this. We'll see if it pans out, though.
Yeah, the other side of that, too, Analyst Desk at the beginning was talking about confidence. Uber, one of the best entryers in the game, as long as he's got the confidence behind it. Well, he's 0-4 right now. Mainline 0-4. He's another player that's struggled throughout this tournament. For the Selfless side, it was Mitch and Relic stepping up in a big way yesterday in the win-out series in order to get them to this point. So if those guys don't step up, it's going to be a really rocky road here for the Selfless side. I'd love to see it happen. That nade, though. Followed up with the op shot onto Uber, taking him down. Phelps and Henny combined for 2 to start this round off. 45 seconds left on the clock, still to play with, but at this point they're just dwindling the forces, and that jump peek from Lucas surely had to have seen Nifty. He's playing with fire right now, as Nifty does have that. Well, now he's really playing with fire. Didn't see that one coming. That just worked out really well. Galil spam going out. Going to find a little bit of damage onto Showtime. Not too terribly much, and it's still a 5-on-3. And Showtime with the op in the back B is going to be able to find one more. And Lucas looking for the cleanup.
Yeah. And at that point, it was more than obvious that they're hitting B. They had no time. And again, there was only that presence there. So Tempo just completely shutting down everything that we're seeing here from Selfless. And again, to just go back to that note, to think that they were going to be able to get that done with Galils. We didn't see anything that creative out of them. Like the first frag that comes out is main line was already a little lit, and he gets boosted in events inside a checkered and then just eats a nade. And then Henny follows it up with a pick towards middle. So Selfless, they got to figure out what they want to do here.
Yeah.
So it's not panning out.
This is what worked for him yesterday. Even though they got bodied on cash by Winout, it was the Tech 9, the pistol rush towards the B-bomb site. And you can see Showtime, that molly into the back of Checkers is actually great. Lucas actually burns one. So it's kind of a return to the return there, but slowly getting dwindled down. Mainline's got an AWP that he salvaged, but surely shouldn't be able to get out of this, and he's not going to be able to get out of this. They should be able to salvage the double up again. I'm not sure if they're going to get somebody in there in time, but they've got plenty of money now on the CT side. You can see $10,000 on Phelps. So lots to work with here from Tempo Storm. And the big thing is this, to me, if Selfless wants a chance in this series, this is a must-win map. Because they did look good on Dust 2 when they played against Winout yesterday.
Yep.
And that was Winout's map pick. They ended up winning 16-6 on. So that was a big victory for them. So we know that they've got a little bit of something in the tank when it comes to Dust 2. But they're probably and most likely not going to be winning Cobblestone against a team like Tempo Storm. So this is like, if they want to be able to 2-1 this series, they have to start picking up the pace on cash.
Indeed. And we see Nifty with that op yet again. And he will fall yet again. Sad times for him as he was trying to work the boost, but Henny a little bit too quick. And this is one of the things that I wanted to see coming into this in Nifty. If he wanted to get that op rolling against an opera like Henny, are you really confident enough that you want to take a duel where it's a straight up 50-50, or you probably want to play a little bit more creatively and have some more awkward off angles? But Nifty, again, trying for the boost, and he will fall to Henny. So difficult to bring that guy down. Main line finds an entry into B.
He's got no idea
Showtime's
Showtime's here.
Nice quick scope, and it looks like he might receive some more here.
Well, he just saw the shoulder.
Oh my God.
Jesus. All right. Fully flashed, hits the double. He spotted the shoulder of Mitch, and he just times it.
Yeah. And
in the immortal words of Red Eye, brutal, savage.
Indeed. And that's one of the, like, when you flash a corner like that and an op's on it, most solid oppers know that timing. And watch as this flash.
There's the shoulder.
And white screen,
boom,
shoots right after. Because he knows where he was aiming, and he knows that flash is going to allow them to come out. So take a shot, run off, and, well, guess what? He got the collateral. Beautiful stuff. 7-0 and Selfless. Again, they got to be demoralized at this point. Nothing's working for them.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what a flash as they're all white screened. Uber does find Phelps. Bolts right back at him. We'll go back and forth, but very lit are the Selfless members.
They need a plant here, though. This is ideal. They've gotten into the site. They should be able to get the bomb plant, and they will get the bomb down. So finally it actually gets planted here. Good flashbang in towards truck side. Nifty, he's on very thin ice. He actually does go down. He was very, very lit. Now both players that are sitting back here by quad, this is a very dangerous situation because one nade or one Molotov could kill both of them. Lucas actually has the firebomb to work with. See if he does end up dropping it over there to the backside of the quad boxes, and they might not even have an opportunity to get out in time because Mitch, he's on 4 HP. That Molotov will kill him. Oh, and there's the molly. Going to come around the corner. Uber's burning, and they both get flushed out right into Showtime and Lucas. Smoke comes out on the bomb, and an easy defuse here for Tempo Storm.
Indeed. Nice work on the retake, and that's... if you've ever heard commentators talk about cash and the incendiaries on the CT side, there's other maps that obviously it's very effective to utilize them on, but incendiaries on this map specifically, there's just so many uses. On the retake specifically, like we saw towards quad there, throwing towards fork. Of course, there's just all these different ways to make use of them. So that's the benefit for Tempo.
On both sides of the coin, too, as well. I mean, we see it a lot of times where a team will be over towards A main. They'll throw that Molotov out over the top side to flush a player out into checkers, and then have somebody sitting in sunroom that'll have an AWP or a rifle that's able to pick that player off, and that's one less person you got to worry about in the B-bomb site for a takeover in that area. One thing that I want to note right now is just really the fact that there's 7, 9, 11, 12 kills in total on the Selfless side, 8 rounds in. which means that there's hardly any deaths. Showtime actually is 8-4. But the thing to note right now is top fragging is Lucas at 9-3. Bottom fragging is Phelps at 7-3.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. You've got 4 players right now. Now, we talk about things like ADR, which is average damage per round, and FPR, which is frags per round. Obviously, the higher the number on each of those, the better you're doing. 4 out of the 5 players on Tempo Storm right now have a 1 FPR or better. 3 of them have a 1 FPR, and then Lucas has a little over a 1 FPR, with Phelps just barely under a 1 FPR. So it's basically, you could almost break it down to like a team ace every single round because they're all contributing equally as far as this is concerned. Now, we saw the big 3K from Showtime, 1 from Checkers, and then the double. And it's just, I mean, these guys are playing some 6 CS right now, and it's, I mean, Selfless, they haven't been able to even, I think, what was that? They've had 2 bomb plants so far in 8 rounds.
Yeah, and that's not a good look. Of course, bomb plant's very important if you guys are new to CS at all. If you are able to get a bomb plant every single round, even if you're losing rounds, it equates to more rifle rounds, right? So
Skrilla.
So much money, right? So, of course, it's very, very important, even on those ecos, that you're not just trying something random. You really want to guarantee a bomb plant if at all possible. So that's not a good stat for them, unfortunately, and it may have been a silver lining if they did have quite a few plants, but unfortunately, it's just not the case at the moment. And just further your talk on Tempo, just firing on all cylinders across the board, that is such a terrifying lineup when that's the case. And on Selfless, if you're going to win those duels, again, player to player, I would say individually, you got the Tempo guys that are, I would say they are ahead skill-wise, and there is going to be times where Selfless might be able to take a duel here and there, but at the end of the day, when you have 5 players playing so consistently, to actually follow it up, to have one player get a double entry or something like that, it's probably not going to happen.
And one of the things I actually want to point out here is the 2 bomb plants that Tempo Storm actually did have. The first one was in the first gun round, which was kind of a retake on A. Henny got stuck behind quad, got killed by Relics, and then they were all so low at that point that the retake came in and they were able to solidify that. The last one was actually the eco round. But at this point, there's so much money that's been built up on Tempo Storm that they can actually afford to go head-to-head into these gun rounds because they already know that with the money bonus stacking up for the terrorist side that they're going to be on pretty much a perpetual buy throughout the remainder of this half until they trade rounds. So that's, it's yield the bomb plant, hit him with the retake, and now Phelps, he's right behind this smoke in mid-main. Oh, he's going to get flashed through? No, they actually flashed back through. They passed him. He's going to have a golden opportunity here at a couple. And he's going to be able to find the first one on Mitch. That flash does wreck him, but mainline does trade it.
Yeah, so Phelps only with the 1, as we'll see a 4-on-4. Uber inside a checkered. The bomb is out towards middle here. That's mainline towards vents. And now just playing a 2-2 setup is Tempo. Selfless, they've got time. As they, again, 4-on-4, have got to favor the T's in this respect. Should be able to, again, the 2-2 setup means 4-on-2. Hopefully you can make something work, but Tempo, see how they defend here. Selfless, they've got 1 player in A main, that's Relics, but the rest are leaning to this B side. We've got 30 seconds left. Relics is just going to try and make as much noise as possible. Bolts up on that Shroud boost, able to take him down quite easily. And now, I think the jig is up. Lucas with a nice pop flash. And Showtime's going to be watching from CT spawn. That smoke is not good at all. Luckily for them, Showtime only finds the 1 leg shot, but 3-on-3.
Big thing was that Lucas died there. I mean, Showtime's still got a Molotov. They just threw an HE into the back of the site. That's going to actually take mainline down. So now, the edge of the smoke, it's fading. Nifty is right there. Oh, Uber takes initiative, though. He's going to be able to find that frag. Now it's going to be Henny versus Nifty. Nifty does lose that battle, and it's Uber down towards CT spawn. He's got to come up huge. Bolts is going to deny him. It's another bomb plant here for Selfless. The money bonus is already stacked up to max, so that bomb plant is at least maybe going to allow them to afford to op into the hands of Nifty again. But what has he done so far in this matchup? He's gotten 2 kills. I think he's only gotten 1 AWP kill so far in this entire game from that terrorist side. So, and again, Bolts, he's died once. Henny, he's died once. And that's your A bomb site players. So that just shows you that either A is getting locked down wholeheartedly or the retakes on B are just been flawless.
Yeah, a bit of both. As we've seen 9-0. Selfless, like you had stated, Nifty gets a chance with the op again. And he's going to head quickly towards B main. I don't think he hopped out quickly enough, and Showtime is all over it. So there's a bunny hop there that he's trying to hit, and when he didn't hit it, Showtime actually beats him there. So again, easy shot for Showtime, and well, Uber will fall as well. So very quickly, we're on a 5-on-3.
Actually heard a desk down there being pounded a little bit, maybe some frustration from the Selfless camp. Sent a vibration all the way through the stage, so at this point, I can't blame them if they're getting a little bit frustrated because they're just getting shut down almost every avenue of attack on this map. And like I said, I mean, Showtime, he's died the most, but he's also had some serious impact over at the B-bomb site. This is a little bit fortunate. Phelps pushing for a little bit of intel, and Mitch is going to be there around the corner to shut him down. But again, I mean, late Molotov in towards Squeaky. That's going to flush Relics back out. They're going to have to go for this boosted mid to try to take a little bit of mid control because right now they have absolutely no map control on the Selfless side, and that's the scariest part is you're playing a man disadvantage right now, and you have no map control at all. And now they know Mitch is on boost, so they know that there was a player that's either going to come mid main or come A main because that player was over there. That's just a great shot from Showtime.
Yep, he knew he was up there, and that will be that. So Showtime is looking damn good with that AWP. Henny will find the final frag in the end, and we have double digits for Tempo Storm before Selfless has even made it on the board.
I was pointing out to you the money right now for the CT set. I mean, just look at it. They're stacked.
Oh, yeah.
They're completely stacked. And again, because of limited deaths, you could actually see, I believe it was Henny. No, I'm sorry. It was Lucas or Bolts that actually dropped one of their teammates because they were on the verge of going money capped. And I talked about this before. Once you get to 16K, you can't accrue any more money. So you want to drop your teammates, be that selfless player on your team to actually throw a gun over to your teammate and allow them to have a full buy without spending their money when you obviously aren't going to get anything else out of it. Exchange of frags in mid, though. Uber's going to be able to find two, but stuck here in the cubby. We might see a well-timed shot from Henny, but he's actually just going to fall back and just hide behind this smoke for the time being. It's sandbags. Are they going to clear it? They do. Relics, nice shot from the Tech 9.
Yeah, nice work. Phelps was hiding inside of that mid-main smoke yet again. But it's going to be Selfless coming out on top from this mid-presence. Showtime, though, taking down Relics from Highway. They will have the B-bomb site, so that's going for them. No utility, really, to hold off the Tempo side. And the fact that we still have two incendiaries, Lucas and Showtime, both on a piece. Showtime actually swaps out to a Galil from his AWP, and maybe a little bit better of a retake weapon, but I don't know, Galil doesn't work out for him. It's now only Lucas and Selfless. Will this be their first round on the board?
Very possible. They've got a nice nice setup going on here. And Uber takes the initial fight. So there you go. Uber with 3, and that's kind of what they said. You know, he's going to have to hit these entry frags. He got 2 going out mid that round. He was able to shut things down in the long run. But again, like I said, there's so much money that's been stacked up here on Tempo Storm side that it's going to take at least 1, maybe 2 more rounds to break their bank. And, I mean, it's very late in the half now. I mean, we're more than 2/3 of the way through this. We're coming into the last couple of rounds here, the last 3 rounds of this half, and it's just going to be, or 4 rounds of this half, and it's just going to be a big struggle still for Selfless because at this point they just won a round. If they get reset here, that's going to be ridiculous. And they just push straight over mid. Phelps, he's going to have to come up huge. He finds one. He can duck back, but it's not going to be enough. He falls to Mitch, so it's a 1-for-1 trade there in middle, and Henny's going to have to get himself out of dodge for the time being as well.
Playing on a highway here, Selfless. They recognize from the last round that, well, we had some success towards middle. Let's try and barrel over yet again, and Phelps does go down early. Again, it will be a 4-on-4 at this point as we'll see the bomb inside of B main. Actually, players going towards vents already. Nifty with a Molotov towards that back checkered box, and that's an easy way to clear it out as Showtime again lone inside of this B bomb site. His op has looked damn good thus far, and it's going to continue. First shot onto Nifty. Mitch is able to fire back, but Henny is going to find another one, and burning a little bit. Mainline does take down Showtime, so it will be a 2-on-2.
Mitch needed to be the insurance policy there in mid and cut the rotation from Z. What the hell was that, Molly?
Whoa. Yeah, that didn't bounce correctly.
Yeah, all right. He hit the window instead of actually banking it off the wall. A little bit miscued there. That would have been able to flush mainline out. So now they got to worry about a player in sight, no player playing in the backside by checkers or B main.
Nice
and mainline's actually going to hit a nice shot there. Relics needs to not peek. Well,
there we go.
They played that properly in that 2v2. I would have liked to see Relics play a little bit more patient, but he does get the timing right. Selfless find 2 in a row. Still enough money for a formidable buy here from Tempo Storm, so they're going to continue on this route and see if they go right back into a double up. And they will not, actually, this round, go into a double up. So this is the last chance to dance for Tempo Storm before they'll have to have an eco round. But Selfless needs to win out this half. They need all 5 rounds that they can get.
Definitely. And at this point, 2 in a row. It's a good start. Deep Molotov there from the CT side. It's a little bit off its mark, but that is all right as Phelps is getting aggressive towards this A main smoke. He's going to hop up onto the toxic barrel. It actually drops another smoke, but an interesting flash here. Uber eats it and comes out, but Phelps is fully blinded. I don't think Uber recognized that there is a player on the toxic barrel. Phelps finally is spotted, but he's going to be able to take down 2. Bolts is combining. Now a 2-on-3 as Bolts continuing. Relics tries to put him away. So low as Bolts, but the hat trick, 3 frags on the round.
A big mistake from Selfless, not checking that corner. That smoke was well placed from Phelps, and he was patient, trigger discipline. You know, we talk about that kind of thing all the time. Not shooting at the very first thing that you see because you already know that there's going to be more stuff coming behind it. And then Bolts, I mean, a hero play. He's 16-3 right now, and that was, I mean, he should not have survived there. He had like 12 HP and hits a ripper there onto Relics to shut him down, so nicely done from them. And now they're just going to try to push out mid, and again, it's Showtime in prime position here.
What
it's
a
just
mowdown.
a quick cleanup. Uber does get one. That was a buy-up from Selfless, too. They had a Galil on Uber, a couple of Tech 9s, but, I mean, they're putting all their eggs in one basket, and now they're broke.
Has Selfless done a single A smoke execute? I don't think so.
They did on the 4th round where they got the bomb plant.
Right. That was more a light buy though, correct? Or
yeah,
was that?
It's just I don't think that they've really had the money. Yeah, as he's showing out. That was the 4th round was the only time that we saw a smoke execute come in towards A. I just don't think that they've had the money or the utility left by that point in the round to actually execute onto the A bomb
we saw the
site.
force buys happening fairly early there. The one round where Nifty could have saved another and got the op again, but they decided to go with some Galils and such. But
and it's just been hurting them overall throughout this entire time because they just haven't had the utility. Bolts doubling up. Going to find the headshots onto Mitch and onto Nifty. Mainline and Uber going to go down as well to Henny and Phelps, and it's all just down to Relics.
Phelps was going for the flying knife there. That was quite interesting.
2 bullets left, and he just wrecked Bolts. That was nice to see. But 13-2. I mean, we talked about this map swinging a little bit towards the terrorist side, so to speak. So seeing a big CT side half being put up from Tempo Storm definitely does not bode well for Selfless at all into the second half.
No, not at all. Selfless. Teams that are getting to this level, you have to be prepared for things to not go the way you were planning. But when you have a 13-2 scoreline, again, it is possible to bring it back. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but you need to have players that are capable of utilizing the mentality of going round for round. Yeah, and I just don't know if Selfless have that in their bag of tricks, so to speak.
I guess that kind of shows why Tempo Storm chose to go into the CT side first, because they got the side pick since this was Selfless's map. And, I mean, they came out swinging. You saw it in the pistol round with Lucas and Henny getting monster frags, 3 for Henny in the pistol round, 2 for Lucas in the pistol round. Constant shutdowns. Showtime over at the B-bomb site was dynamite with the AWP. I mean, they rocked the double op setup all the way up until the last couple of rounds of that half because, A, their money was fine. B, it was working for them. You leave Henny in mid playing from the cat box and everything like that. This is a look back at the pistol round. Lucas, these lightning fast headshots. Henny's there as well. The twins combining for 4 kills in the pistol round. All 5, actually, in this round from Showtime. They just lock things down in this B-bomb site. Lucas, nicely done again. And this is that blind collateral that we saw from Showtime. Posted up, like you said, sees the nade come out, waits, boom, hits the double, takes him down, and that was at that point Tempo Storm up 7-0. Another nice play from Showtime here. I mean, the guy was just an animal in the first half, but as much as you talk about Showtime, he finishes 14-4-8. It was Bolts locking down the A bomb site at 18-2-4.
Yeah, just a ridiculous scoreline for all these guys on the Tempo side. Like we had stated early, everybody really carrying their own weight, and when that is when that's the occasion, as well as, again, the pistol round to find those kinds of frags that early and just to get yourself off to that start. That's what we needed to see from Selfless. And when Tempo was able to perform that, well, again, this is our score line moving into the next half. But Selfless now on the CT pistol. Obviously, if they drop this round, it's going to be a short map on Cash.
And they're playing an A retake as well. They got 2 on Highway. They've got 1 playing from Truck, tapping away Relics. He's in an off angle, so even if they spam through the smoke, they're not really going to find too much. But they're putting all their eggs in one basket. They're going for this retake. It's the fast flank play that we saw into A main the last time, but they're just going to swarm on main. Oh, my God, Bolts.
Wow.
Burst clock to the dome. Taking down main line, looking for some more. Mitch does answer back, but these post-plant positions are going to be so strong from the terrorist side. They are slowly clearing things out. Oh, my God, battling back in this one. It's going to have to be Bolts being dynamite, but it's not going to matter. The bomb plant isn't for A main. And a little bit of poor positioning. I thought the post plants were actually going to be good, but I didn't realize that the bomb plant was more in default than it was for A main.
Yep.
So Selfless, they're going to capitalize and maybe swing things back in their favor. But again, 10 rounds the difference.
Right, it's the start to the road to the comeback, certainly. They are now on their way, but 3 rounds to 13. Not a fun situation any way you spin it, as we see no buy here from the T side as they got that bomb plant in the first. So
Yeah,
Bolt's
just
actually
bolts.
with Vest and a Deagle looking to find Nifty towards Z. He's got the angle lined up. But it's going to be Relics taking first engagement towards middle. Mainline actually drops Bolt, so good news there. And of course, just trying to get some damage dealt. Showtime with the Glock here. Does drop Relics to 45, and Lucas actually finishes him off. So that'll be some damage dealt early, and we'll see if they can work off of this.
I mean, it's only a one-man advantage right now. If they can get some nice shots, well, they did.
Man.
That's unfortunate timing. Lucas going for that FAMAS gets shut down by Relics, so now it's going to be much more outside of the realm of possibility. Relics actually picking up the FAMAS here. I'd like to see him hang on to the UMP at least until the end of this round to try to get another kill, get another little $600 bonus. But he's going to carry the FAMAS into the next round, so he's salvaging utility. Again, Uber on the P90, man. We talked about this before. We just don't like this because if he does carry the P90 into a rifle round and he's not playing a spot, he usually plays quad in A. And if he gets flushed out by a Molotov and killed by an AWPer, it's going to be completely useless to have that P90. If he does get a kill, he's only putting $300 in the bank. So
yeah, moving into this round, again, we've talked about it a little bit. The P90, the strengths is close combat, and what's the strength of a Tech 9? Close combat. So I don't even understand, even on a round like that. Again, you're getting $300. It's more than a FAMAS, and now moving into a rifle round, yeah, good luck against AKs. And Uber is their entry guy. So, like, yeah, granted, now he can, like, run in and spray, but I think your entry guy needs a little bit more firepower. Bolt's able to take down Mitch, and, well, of course, Uber
was that
is going to be
aggressive
rotating out. Yeah, I think that he was headed towards B main a little bit there, and well.
And here's that range battle with the P90 that we were talking about. Not that having an ump in this particular situation would be any more beneficial, but tapping with the UMP, a couple of shots to the head's going to take him down. P90 is going to be relatively useless right here, so he's going to have to fall back. Lucas is in cubby at the bottom side of mid, so he's going to slowly lurk back around, and he hears the rotation going up towards A. So they're going to call in the cavalry. You can actually see him coming around from CT spawn right now. They're going to try to maybe stack somebody up on top of double stack. They're putting Uber up there. But, yeah, that's just quick push in towards B. They flush out Mitch. They flush out Relics, get the site, get the plant. And right there, I mean, this is – they have to hold on to these guns. If they don't, they're screwed. And, I mean, it's just money is going to be the biggest issue. Oh, Showtime so close. Mainline's down to 10 HP now as well.
This would be so unfortunate if Selfless lost these weapons, and I have a feeling Tempo, they might just brute force in. Nah, okay, so they'll just keep spamming away and see what they can get done that way.
They don't have a stable economy to go for the rebuys just yet.
For
so
sure. I was
not
just
a bad
thinking
idea.
they're at this scoreline, so like just add insult to injury. But no, I agree with you. That is the smart way to go about it, the disciplined way, and that's what has gotten Tempo in this spot in the first place. So got to stick to that. And moving into this next round, again, Selfless, they were able to bring those 3 weapons in. But see what they can get done here is, of course, decent utility on all the players on the Tempo side, and it looks like they're going to attempt to barrel out middle here. Relics just eating so many flashes. Eventually, Phelps makes his way out. The mainline deals with him, traded off, and Relics just goes down through the smoke. Lucas, nice shot. I imagine he was spotted out by one of his teammates before that shot came through, but nonetheless, 3 on 4, not looking good for Selfless.
No, that flash was well timed from Uber. Actually blinds Lucas up on top of the garage, but that Molotov comes in, flushes him out. This is going to be a 15th round now for Tempo Storm. There's not really much Nifty's going to be able to do here. It's man versus the world right now, and the Brazilians are kings of it. It's just going to be really, really difficult for Selfless to get back in this. And, you know, when Garrett said 16-8 trying to be generous as far as that was concerned, he was very generous, I feel. I mean, with the way that Selfless played on this map yesterday, they didn't really offer us that spectacular of anything. I mean, they got beat by a team that got thrown together essentially before this minor qualifier, boot camped for 3 days, and then wrecked them on their map pick on Cash 16-6. So it definitely doesn't bode well for Selfless when they go into their map picks. I would have liked to see maybe play something else, but what are you going to do? Oh, my God.
Okay, then. Lucas, I think he was fairly white screen there, but still finds the head of Nifty, and it looks like we could be 1 round away. Selfless, of course, will buy everything that they can.
Mitch has a deagle, though.
It's true. If you guys haven't seen that clip yet, make sure you check it out. Again, versus Winter Fox. Mitch had quite the 1-dig inside of a smoke.
Hashtag rip Hades.
Yeah, exactly. Sad times for him.
Nifty has 2 kills.
Yeah.
Two
Like,
and
you
17.
can't expect to win when you're against a team where individually they are all, again, performing so well, and you got players that aren't fragging. So
Hasn't been
good.
able to get an op in the second half. Had an op maybe twice or 3 times in the first half. And he's gotten shut down, and that's the big thing is, like they were saying on the analyst desk, they want to see Nifty step up in a big way and try to take over a match with the op. And obviously, if they're punishing him that hard that he, A, can't get an op, B, can't utilize the op when he has it, it's rough.
And what's really unfortunate is some of the duels that he was even taking were against Showtime, not even Henny. So, like,
Right.
and I'm not saying that there's a huge skill or difference there, but, like, Henny is definitely that star opper. Showtime is very consistent with it, but even in that duel, Nifty not able to really find it. But
Phelps just snuck into Z right under the CT's noses.
yeah, this is
Going to be so scary for him because he's just going to be able to lurk this. This is so bad. There you go. Phelps, just perfect positioning. Nobody watching the angles. This match is done.
looks to be it for map number 1. Uber in a 1v4. He's got 2 flashes, a vest, 5-7, and a dream. But it looks like that dream, well, he does find the first frag. Not too bad as
They're going to chase him down. He's got nowhere to go.
he's going to go for a cute pop flash here. He does blind some of the players, but eventually Henny, with his pistol, he will get the job done. So
Brutal.
yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot to really look back on that went well for Selfless. And moving into the next map, I got to think Cabo could go very, very similarly.
Yeah, I mean, it might even be to the point where we see an Optic level performance from their first day where they went 32-3 in the 2 maps that they played when they played Train against Winout and then Train against Selfless and dropped 3 rounds in the opening day. 4 rounds for Selfless on their map pick. That is just, it's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
That's about the only way we can really put it. And again, moving into Cobble, there's a lot of even homework that Tempo could have done from yesterday, and that they were able to win it yesterday versus Winout, but like you had stated, Tempo is just a whole new beast.
And it took a comeback as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they were down, it was like 13-6 or something like that, 13-8. They started grinding rounds on the Selfless side. They were able to start bringing things back, and they eventually won 16-14. But it's like you said, I mean, Tempo Storm, they're a whole nother beast. Selfless will start on the Terra side of this, but if Bolts, I mean, that's where we've seen Bolts at his best. CT sides. He's the strat caller, the in-game leader. The Terra sides look very smooth for Tempo Storm, but he is a monster on the CT side. And you saw it there with like 18 kills in the first half.
Yeah.
So I'm not the expert, but we have some experts.
Indeed,
So we're going to throw it on down there to Puckett, James, and Garrett. Can you help us, guys?
I don't know if there's any helping Selfless in this match against Tempo. Guys, we talked about how important the entry fraggers were, and I know Launders was helping us in the green room keeping track of all those entry kills. You have some stats here, James. How many entry kills did we see from this Selfless squad versus how many did Tempo get throughout the game?
So Tempo made 7 first entries, and it ended up in 7 wins. Well, on the other side, the Selfless had 4 key entries when they basically up 5v4.
Mm-hmm.
They only won 1 of them. So it really comes down to mid-game fundamentals. Once you get to pick, how do you regroup and how do you trade as a team?
So a little sloppy finish from Selfless. Of course, the T side for them did not go well at all. Nifty finishes with just 2 kills. No one was having a good time. In fact, it was like round 10, and we were looking at the numbers. It was like they have 16 kills total. What was happening? Why was Tempo able to just slaughter them in the first half?
For me, it felt like Selfless wasn't playing the way that I'm used to seeing. They come out confident, they come out fast, and they come out hard, but they literally just played back the whole time. They were playing passive. It looked like they were playing scared. And they only got their first real gun round on the 8th round, I think, or the 9th round, where they actually had enough money to buy like full nades. So the fact that it took 9 rounds to get to that part it's not good enough. It really isn't, and they really didn't do anything with it. And the only round they actually felt confident was the 12th round or 11th round when they just rushed out middle confidently, and they won that round.
And
but then after that was nothing else.
This was a team effort from Tempo Storm throughout. As we take a look at some of the highlights from this squad, James, was there any one player that really stood out to you, or was this just perfect setups almost every single round?
This wasn't even perfect setups. Showtime played great. I mean, there's a couple times when I think he had a 3K. They all played. They Tempo played great team CS, but they were never really challenged. And I believe if Selfless watched this back, this is me helping them. This is me coaching them right now. So they should tune in, pay attention. They're on the couch. This started the first pistol, they didn't get the bomb down. Second round, they didn't get the bomb down. And they bought full everybody but Nifty. Then third round, they didn't get the bomb down on their eco. Fourth round gun round, you could see they were tentative. Usually on fourth round gun rounds, you have a ton of utility. You have smokes, flashes. You can do your defaults. You can do manage map control, carve out a piece of the map, and then execute. They didn't have any of that. And what does that mean? Well, mainline, you need to have strategies where you have, okay, you assess your utility and be like, hey, you know what? We had a rough start to this thing. We're not fragging hard. We didn't frag hard, barely had any kills, $300 per kill. That means a smoke that I might not have had usually. You need to assess that and say, we have XYZ for, 3 smokes, 1 smoke, and what's a minimum viability strats? Like, what? I only have a couple things. What can I do with that? And you really make a consolidated, concise, simple game plan, and then you take map control decisively off the minimum utility that you have. So they really weren't, you said, oh, 8th round, they paused it, and then they got to play CS. Yeah, that's because they got to play the normal, fun CS that you get to have when you have all your utility. But it's really about having levels of strategy and understanding what to do with that.
Now, Garrett, we saw this from Winout kind of earlier in the tournament, where if you don't have money, you have none of your normal strategies. Everything is just going wrong for you. Is there a way Selfless is able to have a better economy coming into this second game? How do they turn things around in this series, if at all?
Well, if they want to turn it around, they're going to play them on Cobble, which is their best map, and Selfless is by far their worst map. They're going to need some economy because, like, with that Winout match on Dust 2, when Selfless destroyed them, they had no economy. They never actually had gun rounds, and we didn't know we gave them a little bit of respect, and we're like, we haven't seen them yet play. So Selfless, technically, we haven't seen them yet play because they got dominated. So if they want to have any chance on Cobble, they need to at least get a bomb down early, or so like they can actually have a full gun round to go against them head on even. Because if you're going to give Tempo the advantage of nades or like if utility on armor and all that stuff, they're going to decimate you, and that's exactly what has happened in this match. And I want to give credit to Showtime and Lucas at B, because on the B bomb site, they held that down perfectly. They worked together. There was no easy kills for Selfless to get. And Selfless attacked B, I think, maybe 10 or 11 of the 15 rounds, and they got destroyed every time. The only times they were successful was when they took over middle, and they actually worked into B from middle, which they didn't do until too late in the half to have a chance.
And I mean, it must have just been soul-crushing for Selfless as well. You finally get your buy in round 7 or 8. Everyone has at least guns and full armor coming in, a few utility, and then you get the collateral from Showtime. He gets the 2-for-1 op shot, all the weapons on the ground, and Tempo just storms out. Were there any holes in the Tempo game, though? Is there anything that you could see Selfless potentially exploiting? Because they were hitting every single run boost. They were just everything that they were trying, they were doing flawlessly, at least from what I saw.
You saw them try to do like a simple run, jump knife air thing near.
Just pure disrespect.
Yeah, where he put away the weapon and came at him with a knife.
They were never challenged in this game, so they did a good job maintaining their composure.
Good guy, Garrett.
Yeah. They did a good job maintaining their composure when Garrett fixes your stuff on air. Yeah, no,
that's better.
And they didn't overly disrespect and let them back into the game. Selfless.
But going on that point, though, that might be the opportunity that Selfless needs on Cobble, is that maybe Tempo Storm's going to go into Cobble and be like, oh, we got this in the bag, 16-1 maybe.
Yeah.
And then they might come into the match too relaxed, and that's when Selfless can maybe get the pistol and jump off to an early lead and take that momentum that they need in order to take out Tempo, especially on their best map.
Right. I think the pistol, we talked about it with Winout
Bring me on the
yesterday.
pistols.
The pistol is the key here. The only way to get momentum is to take that first round and punch first.
Yeah. Typically with pistols, if you get 2, you can and you win the subsequent rounds after, you can upset a team. So if they win both pistols and win the following rounds, and actually, it's usually that utility, that those patterns, those habits. You feel comfortable, you play well. It's the normal CS you're used to playing. They could possibly pull an upset here, but I do not see it because Cobble is their favorite map, Tempo Storm.
Now, we all know how Tempo plays. You guys talked about it earlier in the tournament with Henny kind of normally over at A and the rest of the boys kind of spread out, especially watching Drop and at B. Is there a preferred route as the attacking squad coming at Tempo on one of their best maps, if not their best map in Cobble? Is there a weakness in your eyes, something that maybe they should be looking at?
Well, if Nifty's not going to be able to perform with the op, as of recently at this LAN, he has not been doing very well.
He didn't even get to buy many ops.
That's true. But
Yeah.
in general, if he's not going to be able to have the economy to buy an op consistently, especially on T side, then what their goal I think they need to do is they need to go confident, they need to go hard, and they need to attack the B bomb site where Tempo loves to play only rifles. So if they're going to try to go up against Henny with no op and the lack of confidence they have right now, Henny's going to tear them apart at A. So I think you go hard at B and you use a rifle on rifle action in order to take some early rounds and then maybe get the economy in your favor. But other than that, if they're going to go slow, they're going to get decimated, I think.
All right, Tempo is looking on form. One last point before predictions.
I was just going to say Henny manages that A bomb site by himself.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before. Ops danger. He allows 4 people to play the B bomb site. So I think it's actually about pinning Henny down in those halls. And you saw a team scrim up middle possibly a little bit. I think they need a little bit of sloppy play and just kind of overwhelm them. And they might be able to get into this game.
And that's actually what they did, really quickly, against Winout. The only rounds they won on their T's at Cobble, they were down a lot of rounds. They just they did a sloppy run up middle 4-man, just like hard, and that's how they won. It wasn't a strategic mastermind stuff. It was just rush middle, guys, and then that's how they won. So maybe they got to do that.
Of course, Tempo is a little bit more crisp with their setups and the rotations than what we've seen from Winout.
Yeah.
Selfless is going to have their handfuls, but it's time for your predictions, guys. 16 what in favor of Tempo, Garrett?
16-6.
16-6 again?
I'm going 16-7.
16-7?
Tempo Storm. Yeah, I feel like maybe.
You just Price is Right in me.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. $1. Yeah. Somebody like that one.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, it's they could get out B plat. You know, Uber maybe kills a few people with a P90. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the flash bangs come in and flash the Brazilians once again as Selfless gets another big win on Cobble. They need it right now. Remember, regardless if they win or lose, Selfless will have a second chance here. It's double elimination throughout the playoff bracket. We'll be back with Game 2 after this short break.